Before you watch the video, please be aware that this list may contain spoilers, tips on beating bosses, and my own opinion. Few bosses which I consider necessary to make the game better with the introduction and a thorough tutorial for various mechanics like using a special attacks or a certain weapon just can't appear on my top 10 list, despite making the game clearly better and more differential. To help you understand my choices better, this was my first playthrough. It took 350 deaths and 45 hours to beat. I got simple tips regarding playing from the Twitch chat, but no tips regarding beating bosses. I was using double-handed greatsword, no magic, no parrying, no items for the most part. Now let's get to the list of top 10 my favorite bosses in Dark Souls 3 with DLC. Number 10, Soul of Cinder. Probably you expected this guy to be a little bit higher, but he has a big but. He's just pretty easy, and putting him as the last boss, which you need to face in game, makes the situation rather awkward and disappointing. On the other hand, he has quite a wide kit of moves and an actual second phase with that amazing 5-hit combo. To make him better, I recommend adding curse to his attacks and making him way more aggressive. Number 9, Champion Gandar. Facing the first boss stronger form later in game makes for a nice happy surprise. He chains his attack nicely, he's definitely cinematic and reacts well to player actions. Number 8, Lauric Younger Prince. Here we have an interesting siblings. FYI, one of them is actually a princess, not a prince like everyone claims. Second phase, combo of magic and physical attacks, quite quick movement, overall pretty nice job. Number 7, Sister Frieda. Oh ho ho, here we have a boss with a big B. 3 progressively better phases, different moves like charging, getting invisible, changing ground into a minefield. It's challenging, climactic, and definitely good. Number 6, Slave Knight Gael. Another boss from the DLC, and let me tell you something, this piece of fuck will give you a hard time. He's fast, chains his attack well and deals quite a nice damage. One more time, 3 phases, big range and mobility. It took me around 35 tries to get him. It would be 15 if I only knew to dodge right instead of any other directions. Before we go further, let's drop few honorable mentions. Old Demon King. He's quite easy, but has a nice variety of moves and actually made me choke, so here you go buddy. Aldrich, Devourer of Gods. Nice fight, 2 phases, the arrow move is a dick, but it's cinematic AF. He's not in the top 10 list only due to his magic missiles, which made him a small PP weak boy. Dragon Slayer armor. Hits like a truck, has a lot of health, has a massive shield and 2 flying origami butterflies are trying to help him. Definitely a hard fight. Back to top 10. Number 5, Nameless King. Here he is, and he has King in the name for a reason. 2 phases, quick, nimble, strong boss with variety of moves. A huge amount of fun. Why is he in place number 5? First phase is weak and too easy. Number 4, Pontiff Sullivan. What a guy, great name, massive combos, and during second phase he spawned a shadow to double the damage you're about to sack with your taint. Only after watching some other playthroughs I learned that the shadow is showing which move he's about to do, and it makes the fight way easier. Last breaker before we go to the top 3. Time for not so honorable bosses. This will be quick. Half-Light Spear of the Church. This guy is a massive weak AF pushover, not even worth remembering. Deacons of the Deep. I wanted a fight with many enemies, but at least make them fast, not lethargic and as weak as a 4-year-old child. This might be a surprise, but High Lord Volnir deserves to be here too. He's probably the biggest boss in Dark Souls 3, especially that we can't really see his legs or anything, just the torso and hands. I expected a massive fight with huge damage, but what did we get? Another freaking pushover whose weak point are bracelets? It's like fighting a hipster millennial. After watching a few videos regarding Dark Souls 3 lore, I learned that the story behind Volnir's bracelets is a bit more complicated and actually has sense, but that's not the point of this video. Now I promise that there will be no more breaks in our show. Number 3. Dark Eater Meter. Now we're talking big. This boss appears before the actual fight and he makes quite an entrance. Breathes fire, lasers, has massive claws and even a tail attack. Great charges, combos. You fight him in a massive cave arena. Cinematic enough to be the last boss. Number 2. Abbis Watchers. Quite an early boss, but this was one of the most cinematic fights I've witnessed in video games. 2 phases. Nice twist in the first phase when he's actually fighting himself. One more time, quick and nimble, with big range, and few of his attacks are chained together. Definitely a way to go with making a small sized boss. Number 1. Demon Prince. When I think about this fight, I'm still impressed. It begins with 2 demons. This first phase is what you call a first phase. You're tired and weakened enough to think to yourself, okay, where's my boss fire, soul, and I'm ready to go. But there's no boss fire, no loot, you get the second phase. I'm not a huge Lodge fan, but that was the real Balrog fight. Fire everywhere, fight is almost chaotic, and when you feel like you're doing good, and slightest blink of hope appears, this guy throws a fucking sun at you. 10 out of 10 best Dark Souls 3 boss title belongs to him and to him only. Thank you for watching the video, feel free to share your own list down below. Stay safe and join the pride.